Hey all you action figure enthusiasts out there, JC here with another T&I toy review. And today's review is in association with JediInsider.com, your #1 news source for everything Star Wars. And for today's review, I'm going to be taking a look at the brand new Star Wars The Black Series Range Trooper figure from Hasbro. Now this is another character based on the upcoming Han Solo movie. The figure comes packaged in the same style that we see with all the Black Series figures. Up at the top you've got the Black Series logo, you've got the black box with the figure clearly displayed with the red background. Down below you've got the name of the character and an image. On the side you've got the red border and it tells us this is figure number 64 in the series. And then on the back of the packaging you've got a brief bio in multiple languages. Alright, let's get this open and take a look at what's inside. Okay, so here's a look at the figure outside of the packaging along with the other contents. Now the only accessory that you get with this figure is a blaster. It looks similar to other Imperial rifles that we've seen, though it is a little bit different than the standard Stormtrooper blaster. It has similarities, but it also has differences. You can see like the scope is in a different place on the gun, and it's a little bit longer. You've got a magazine that is bigger, a little bit bigger on the gun. You've got this little square piece that sticks out that you don't see on a typical Imperial blaster. So while it does, again, has similarities to a regular Stormtrooper blaster, there are differences with this weapon, and it's done with just a black plastic. He'll hold the blaster in the right or the left hand. The right hand has an actual trigger finger, but you can have him hold it in the left hand as well, and he will hold it nice and tight. Okay, so for the figure itself, now I haven't seen the movie yet, so I don't really know what the story is behind these guys, but definitely these look like a variation of the Imperial Snowtrooper like we saw in Empire Strikes Back. Definitely share similar characteristics. I would kind of describe these guys remind me of the nomads of Stormtroopers, and they look like they're dressed for cold weather and to be out in the cold weather for like days on end. You know, an Imperial Snowtrooper is dressed for the cold, but for like a battle to be out there for a few hours or something. These guys look like, you know, they're dressed to wander the snow wastelands for days and weeks on end. So you've got this helmet that has characteristics of a Stormtrooper, but does look very different than what we see with the Imperial Snowtrooper. It looks more like a traditional Stormtrooper helmet. A little more boxy looking though, and you got some scuff marks on the front. I like this metallic gold that they've used for the eyes, and then you've got the standard kind of black markings like we generally see on Stormtrooper helmets. And then this chest plate is again very much in keeping with what we would see with the Imperial Snowtrooper. Very similar in that regard, and this is very white and it's done with a hard plastic, and you got some red markings for lights and stuff and a blue one here, and then you've got some black scuff marks to give it some wear and tear up here on the chest plate, and then down here at the crotch piece as well. You got these square pouches, which, you know, again, it's very similar to what we saw with the Imperial Snowtrooper. These are white though. He also has the skirt piece like we see on the Imperial Snowtrooper, but this one looks like it's thicker. It's got actual fur sculpted underneath. It's not a soft good piece like this fur up here on around the neck, which is a separate piece, is an actual soft goods type piece, and you can take it off. If you wanted to pop the head off, you could take this off. But the skirt piece here is done with that vinyl type rubber material, and the fur on the underneath is actually sculpted on there. And then he's got these straps around his legs. He's got these little strange things on his lower arm that look, I don't know if these are supposed to be some kind of controls or something. These are again done with more of a white hard plastic. And then the rest of the arms are more of a cream color. He's got these little things that stick out here on the arms. Not sure what those are supposed to be. Again, cream color here on the sides. And they're very thick. Looks like, you know, wearing like a thick winter type jacket type deal. The hands are done with a darker grayish type color for the gloves. And then you've got this back piece here on the figure. And again, I like the line work and everything sculpted on the skirt piece. Looks like it's leather or something. And then for the legs look like he's wearing some kind of futuristic looking snowshoes. So again, done with a darker cream type color, and you've got some sculpting detail for some armor pieces on the upper legs. And then for the actual shoes, these look like, you know, like I said, kind of futuristic looking snowshoes. You've got some hydraulics and some tanks, and some wire, like some tubing here on the back, and some red for like little lights. And, you know, like I said, these look like they're some kind of Imperial futuristic looking snowshoes. So this figure stands right about 6¼ inches tall. Now here's a comparison with the Black Series Imperial Snowtrooper from Empire Strikes Back, as well as the Snowtrooper, the First Order Snowtrooper from Force Awakens. And out of the three, the new guy definitely looks like he's going to be the warmest in cold weather. And then here's a comparison with just a regular Imperial Stormtrooper. And finally, here's a comparison with the other three 6-inch Black Series figures that have been released for the new Han Solo movie. Okay, so for articulation on this figure, you can turn the head to the left and to the right, and he can look down a little bit, but really can't look back very much, and you don't get any head pivot with this one. Arms attached with your standard ball hinge joint there at the shoulder, so he can get his arm out good. Has good rotation there at the shoulder. Does not have a bicep swivel, only has a single hinged elbow, so he can bend his elbow about that much. And then you also get rotation there at the elbow. You get rotation at the wrist. And there are some hinges on the hands, but these armor pieces come out over the hands, so it limits that movement, but you do still get a little bit of up and down movement there. You have a midsection joint, so you've got rotation there at the midsection, and you can pivot a little bit, but not a whole lot, and there's no crunch movement. You can't crunch forward at all, and you really can't look back at all either with this one. And then with the legs, he can do the splits about that much, even with the skirt piece. Really can't do the legs forward that much, can only do it about that much. You've got this crotch piece that comes down, so that limits the leg movement forward. And then again, can only do the legs back about that much because of the skirt piece. Does have a thigh swivel, has a single hinge knee, so can bend his knee about that much, and then has rotation at the knee. And then with the feet, you get hinges, so you got up and down movement, but you don't get any ankle pivot with the way the shoes are sculpted, and 2 peg holes on the bottom of the feet. Okay, so that's my review. So overall, I think this is a pretty cool looking figure. I think it's a nice variation of the Imperial Snowtrooper. I don't really know the story behind this guy, but again, I think he's kind of a cool variation of the Snowtrooper, which was always one of my favorite Stormtroopers. Now, I don't really know much about this guy. I don't know how much of a role these guys play in the movie, but you know, if you collect Stormtroopers and such, I think this is one you'll definitely want to add to your collection. Now, this figure, along with the rest of the wave, has started to hit some shelves, but the official release date for this wave is April 13th, so if you're not finding it now, you should probably see it in the next week or so. We'll have a full image gallery up at JediInsider.com. There'll be a link in the video description below. Also, if you like the space walls that are featured in this video, please be sure to check out our sponsor, gtptoys.com. They're the ones that make those. The space walls, they have a variety of different space walls that you can choose from for both 3 3/4 inch as well as 6-inch figures, and they're great for things like toy photography. Now, as always, leave a comment. Let me know what you think. If you're so inclined, please like the video. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button down below. I'd really appreciate it. You can also follow me on my Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch accounts. I have links to those in the video description as well. And until next time, guys, I'll catch you later.